It was not the prettiest of victories on Sunday, but the New York Jets now have their first four-game winning streak since the 2015 season as they defeated the Broncos 16-9 in Denver. Let's talk some gangrene football with New York Post NFL reporter Ryan Dunleavy. Ryan, did you stay awake for most of this game? Because we only got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensive football at its finest. That's what the Jets are becoming, Dex. It's not always pretty to watch, but it sure beats the alternative of losing.
Hey, there you go. It's all about getting those W's. That's what matters. Now, Ryan, the New York Jets, they're now 5-2 on the season, second place in the AFC East. Are they the biggest surprise in the NFL this year?
They're the biggest surprise in the AFC. And if we're measuring surprises, not that they're going to care. They're not even the biggest surprise in New York. I mean, the Giants are the biggest surprise in the NFL. They're 6-1. They had less expectations than the Jets coming into the season, and they have the better record. Giants are the biggest surprise in the NFL. Jets are the biggest surprise in the AFC.
All right, there we go. Jets, they'll take that. Biggest surprise in the AFC. Now, we knew going into this Week 7 matchup, the Broncos had a tough defense. No Russell Wilson under center for Denver, but gangrene held the Broncos to just 9 points. You talked about the Jets' D. The D looks to be improving each week. What's the defensive ceiling for this team?
It's a top 5 defense. That's the ceiling. They can get after the passer with their deep defensive line rotation, and I don't think that secondary gets enough credit. I mean, they had a pick. They could have had 2 or 3 more. Jordan Whitehead had one go through his hands at the end of the game. C.J. Mosley had one bounce just before and got overturned on replay. Reed, Gardner, Whitehead, Joyner had a pick. Like, this secondary is very good. And you combine that with the pass rush, you don't have to blitz as much. You can play straight up coverage. The Jets could have a top 5 defense.
Ooh, top 5. Jets fans could definitely like the sound of that. Now, let's talk about the quarterback. It was another blah performance for Jets QB Zach Wilson, but he had 0 turnovers this week. So should fans be worried they aren't seeing more gaudy offensive stats from their signal caller?
They're about to have to. So no was the answer I would have given you an hour ago, Dex. But hearing that Breece Hall might have a torn ACL and might be out for the season, Robert Saleh waiting to confirm that, but said the initial prognosis didn't look good. Hearing that, yes, they're going to need a lot more from Zach Wilson the rest of the way. They can't just ride the rookie running game and defense they were trying to do. Michael Carter's a good player. He hasn't been Hall. So, yes, they're going to need more Zach Wilson. I wouldn't worry yet. I know it's in Jets fans' nature to look for something to worry about. Enjoy the 5-2 start. But, yes, you're going to need more from Wilson down the stretch.
Good note there on Hall. If he is indeed gone for the season, that will be a tough loss for that Jets offense. Now, the longest playoff drought in the NFL, it belongs to the Jets, but they've won 5 out of 7 games, as we talked about to start the season. Will gangrene return to the NFL postseason this year, Ryan?
Yes, that's my answer. Yeah, absolutely. Look, the beginning of their schedule was supposed to be the harder part of their schedule. They still have the Bears, the Jaguars, the Patriots twice. The Dolphins don't look as difficult as they did the first time. The Seahawks. So, yeah, the Jets can have a lot more wins coming up here. I think MetLife Stadium will be rocking next week against the Patriots. That'll be kind of a true litmus test. But there's plenty of wins left on the Jets schedule.
It's interesting. Steve Serby said a couple weeks ago he could see them winning 9 games. It looks like a possibility now. They're already at 5. So we shall see. That is Ryan Dunleavy, New York Post NFL reporter. Ryan, thank you for your time. And we'll talk again in Week 8.
Thanks, Dex.